Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem Dream, and the one and only, the Big Bad Booty Daddy, one and only. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. If you are catching us on Facebook Live, drop a comment section below. If you are catching us on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section below. If you are catching us later, whenever, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, join us as we go live. You'll get the notifications when you subscribe to the channel to know when we go live. Join us. Let's talk about it. So we had this discussion last week about Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, right? And the Big Bad Booty Daddy had some discrepancies about Hollywood Hulkster. As we compared Hogan and as we compared other wrestlers to certain other greats. But let's talk about it, Ant. Let's talk about it, man. You said Daniel Bryan is a better technical wrestler than Bret Hart.
Yes. and I said, Lance Storm is the greatest Canadian wrestler ever.
Lance Storm?
Yes.
Better than Bret?
Yes.
All right, so you mean to tell me you never watched one Bret Hart match that you didn't like? I mean, that you liked? Not one.
The Iron Man match. The one with him and Shawn and the one with him and Austin.
I'm going to be honest with you. That Iron Man match between him and Shawn was overrated, in my opinion. I thought that was overrated.
They didn't need to go 60 minutes. They didn't need to go 60 minutes.
To me, it wasn't the. It should have right. It should have been if it was only going to be one pinfall. I mean, well, not necessarily because of the pinfall. To me, it wasn't the pinfall. It was the fact that it was very slow. It was very slow. Like they did a lot of.
That's how Bret Hart matches are.
Not all of his matches. He's very technical in most of his matches.
Bret Hart and Yokozuna, very slow.
I gotta watch it again.
Bret Hart and Sid Vicious, Bret Hart and Diesel.
Of course, I don't expect anything great to come out of a Sid Vicious match at all. Come out of a Sid Vicious match. Be honest with you. But if you talk about Bret and Diesel, you know, Bret and Diesel match was actually pretty dope. And when Bret took the belt off of Diesel, that was actually a pretty good match, in my opinion.
It was alright. It was cute.
All right, Bret and Mr. Perfect. That was a classic.
It was cute.
Come on, man. Come on, Ed. Come on. You can Bret and Mr. Perfect.
It was cute because the reason why it was good because of Perfect. Perfect dragged him. Perfect carried him that whole match. He was selling everything. Perfect was selling those kicks to the back of the leg like they was gunshots.
Yeah, I mean, but that's part of the match, though. But that's part of Bret's idea to add that to the match, though.
Perfect made that match. I'm not a Bret Hart guy, bro. I don't care what you tell me. The best match he ever had probably was against Goldberg. I like that match.
You know, it's so crazy. It's like Goldberg at one point was like a person you wouldn't laugh about when you talk about him, but now it's almost like, dang. But anyway, he's still one of my favorite wrestlers of all times. I still put him up there as like top 10. I don't care. I mean, even though his earlier work was not as great. I mean, even though his new work, his current work is not as good as his earlier work, he's still one of my favorites. Goldberg in his prime was a monster. Period. He was like George Foreman in his prime. It was, he was the guy, man. All right. Hollywood Hogan. Besides the racism, besides the racist comment he made, right? he's like, how could you get past that, right? Let's not even listen, because again, like You can go on YouTube. As a matter of fact, when we done with this live, because I know I can show some of that content on it because they're gonna flag the video until we get to like a 1,000 subscribers. That's when I can show videos. But if you go online and you look up Ric Flair being racist, you're gonna see the comments made by Teddy Long. If you look up Stone Cold Steve Austin, his divorce from Deborah, which she was on live. She was on live on like the Fox network, and they were doing like a whole interview on her, and it was like, she wanted to talk about, and I think it was after Benoit's passing that she came out and she spoke about it. She was like, how steroids and a lot of head injuries really affect wrestlers, and how their mental health needs to be evaluated as well because of the abuse she endured dealing with Stone Cold, which is why she divorced him. She spoke about him being racist, him making racist comments. Just because he wasn't caught on tape, or these guys were not caught on tape saying the crazy stuff that they say, is no different from what Hogan said. The only difference is Hogan was recorded saying what he said. And at the same time, if you look at Hogan compared to Flair and Austin, Hogan did way more work with African Americans than both of them together.
You think so?
Yeah. The first WrestleMania was Hogan and Mr. T.
Mr. T is a house nigga.
Come on, dog. Come on, man. You can't be making these. Listen, he's black. The fact of the matter, he's a black dude who worked with a white. I mean, he worked with Hogan, who was white. Come on, man.
That don't count, bro. That's like
okay.
That's like a white nigga say, I got black friends, and he pull out Carlton Banks.
Mr. T was far from that. You know that. If you know anything about Mr. T, he's far from that. It just went black. Hopefully, it wasn't my connection. Ant, you still there? You? Ant. Okay, there you go. He's freezing. All right, we're experiencing some technical difficulties with Ant's camera. Ant, you there? All right, I gotta remove you. Come back. Yo, you get me? Okay, Ant. Okay, all right, you gotta come back in. All right, I'm gonna wait till Ant come back in. But yeah, speaking of which, Hogan not getting the credit or the just due for what he was able to do for sports and entertainment and all that he established. And that's the thing, it's like a lot of performers, again, all these performers, a lot of performers, again, legacy gets buried based upon their mistakes. True indeed, we don't like some of the things they do, but nonetheless, we still got to give them credit where credit is due. So, what was talking about? Hogan working with more African Americans, or working with a lot more African Americans than Austin and Flair. Now, I mean, I haven't seen the most. I mean, from what I've seen or what I've known is that Hogan, being as big as he was, as a big household name, he didn't have to work with a lot of African Americans. He worked with Mr. T. He was big at the time. Hogan was big at the time, and he did WrestleMania 1 together. What else? Who else?
Nobody else.
When he when he was in NWO, he was working with like Karl Malone, all the basketball players that came over. Karl Malone, Dennis Rodman. Who else can I think about?
Karl Malone ain't black, man.
He worked with Zeus.
All right, yeah, I'll give you that.
He worked with Zeus, and he's a hood dude. If you see any of his interviews, straight from Compton, it gets no realer than that. No realer than that. He worked with Zeus. Who else, man? There's some people I could pull out. Hogan has been around more black people, and I mean I can't say more black people than Austin and Flair, but what I'm saying is, as far as when you look at Hogan and the matches he's had and the position he was in to put light on other people and be in that position parallel to them, Hogan was with a lot of black people. All I'm saying is this, right? Is that Hogan apologized for his racism. Flair didn't.
You can't apologize for being racist, man.
You can't apologize. If you steal from somebody, you can apologize. If you kill somebody, you can apologize. You know, we're not going to mention all the other things that you could do that are wrong that you could apologize for. But my point is that when you do something wrong, you know, you can be remorseful and regretful for what you've done.
R. Kelly apologized and nobody cared.
That's different. R. Kelly had a problem. He had a serious problem. R. Kelly was a habitual pervert. Like, he was habitual. Like, he could not stop. He needed like real therapy. And granted, again, I don't know the measure of the human heart when it comes to certain people when they apologize. But what I do know for sure is that everybody deserves a second chance, but everybody doesn't deserve a second chance at being tempted at doing the wrong thing again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like if you know R. Kelly has an issue, you know, being around underage women, then once he apologized, make sure he's not around underage women again. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. You know what I mean? It's like an alcoholic, a person who drinks alcohol. You know, they got a problem with alcohol and they trying to get their life together. You know, you go to AA meetings, you recuperate. I'm sorry, you get yourself together. You know, you recuperate from your habit, and then from there, you don't go to a bar. You know, you don't go to a nightclub. You don't go to a place where they're going to intentionally serve you drinks to try to get you intoxicated to enjoy, you know, the festivities or anything that's going to tempt you to go back into the same vice that you got out of in the first place, right? So my thing is, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like things like, you know, being racist or having an issue of expressing, you know, dislike or displeasure for somebody based on their ethnicity or nationality, you know what I'm saying, your prejudices or your bias. Hogan made a racist comment. But from what I've seen, Hogan made a racist comment, but Hogan didn't do racist things at all. The only thing you know about Hogan ever being racist is just that one moment. And he made a comment out of being completely frustrated about the kind of guy that was dating his daughter. He didn't like. We don't know this guy. We don't know what kind of guy he is. Granted, we don't. That's a fact, bro. Like, that's a fact. If you know what I'm saying, like if anybody had a daughter, you know what I'm saying, you got kids, right, Aunt? That's what I'm saying. So you got a daughter? Right. I guarantee you, somebody from another ethnicity, and you know what I'm saying, you ain't like dude, and me and you was talking, and you was venting to me. You probably may say some things depending upon where your head is at and how the situation is. If he's doing something wrong to your daughter, you're going to express some things that will be very distasteful to people who may be of that ethnicity. If he triggers you a certain kind of way, period. I would probably feel the same way too if that was my daughter. But nonetheless, I won't be recording you and then putting it out there and saying, yo, this is what Ann said about such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? It was just like they caught what he said. He apologized for what he said. He said he didn't mean it. And that was it. Plain and simple. But he never did anything racist. As far as we know.
As far as we know, yeah.
We never. If anything, he did anything. He played opposite of Zeus. Zeus didn't have to play. He could have been like, "Yo, I don't want to play opposite of a black dude." He could have put a white dude could have been in those holds barred. They could have picked anybody else besides Mr. T to be in WrestleMania. Yeah. They didn't have to have a bunch of basketball players with them in NWO. He could have been like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be around a bunch of Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman's always getting in trouble. I don't want to call him. I don't want to be my." He could have said all that, but he ain't do none of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, when we look at Hogan, like when you look at, and that's why I judge people based upon their actions. Like, I understand, because human beings will always make mistakes. A person emotionally can be pushed to any measure to do something. That people, and I'm quite sure you from the Bronx, right?
No, I'm from Queens.
You from Queens? All right, cool. Even better. All right. So I'm saying my thing is this: you from New York, you know what it's like being in the city. You know what it's like going through elementary school and being around kids you knew that were like never getting in trouble, always doing their schoolwork, and then high school come, you run into the same dude that used to never get in trouble. All of a sudden, this nigga's a blood. This nigga's a crit. You be like, yo, what happened to you, or what happened? But you already know it's the pressure of the city. You got to survive. You don't know what kind of environment he was in. You don't know what kind of pressure he was under that made him have to, get with a gang in order to protect themselves. And he turned to a whole other person in order for a means of survival. So my point is that certain situations trigger certain emotions and cause certain people to respond a certain way. Sometimes they respond the best way. Sometimes they respond a different way. That's just my point about Hogan. You know what I'm saying? But Hogan's a GOAT, baby. Come on, man.
I can't take that passion for what he did for wrestling. I can't take that from him for what he did for wrestling. That's one thing you can't take from him. But everybody glorifies him like if it wasn't for him, this and that. It probably would have took long. It would have happened, but it just would have took longer. Because it was stars after him, but it just would have taken longer.
That's true. That is very true. But see, the thing that bothers me about that is when people talk about Michael Jordan, nobody talks about Jordan like that. People never say, "Oh," people be like, "Yo, what Jordan did for the game of sports." It's like, yeah, we don't take that away. But if Jordan wouldn't have done it, you know what I'm saying, somebody else would have done it, would have took longer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nobody ever says. People say when people talk about Jordan, oh, nobody ever played like Jordan. There will never be another Jordan. He's the best. That's it. And they people rest their case. It's like when it comes to Hogan, people always have this little thing to add, like as if like Hogan was just this. And I understand because Hogan is not like, he's not like Austin. He's not like The Rock. He doesn't walk in a heavy bravado like they do all the time. Hogan and Austin, Austin and The Rock and a lot of wrestlers always walk in this heavy bravado. But a lot of times when you look at Hogan is always giving it up to somebody. Like, yo, he's always lifting somebody's hand. He always giving it up. He always play a low key role. But people like Austin has never changed his character. Even when he's on his podcast, he's the same guy that you've seen in the ring on that podcast. Same dude.
No, not a podcast.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, granted, but check this out. Listen, what did it benefit for Austin to beat Kevin Owens at WrestleMania?
Because he didn't have his moment. His last match was a loss.
It's supposed to be a loss.
And it was an unexpected retirement match, too, because nobody knew he was retiring.
Like Triple H. Nobody knew Triple H. Triple H had to retire.
Yeah, he was forced. Like Austin was forced to retire.
He was forced. But nonetheless, when
you couldn't make an announcement, they didn't have no goodbye ceremony for him or nothing.
That's true. But when you going, but is that a reason for him to still go over on a Kevin Owens who has 15 more years in his body versus a Austin who only has 2 or 3 matches in his body?
Yeah, because you just answered your own question. That Austin needs to win more than Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens got 15 more years. Austin got 1 or 2 more moments left in him. But
Austin already cemented his legacy. He already did what needed to be done.
Yeah, but he didn't walk out the way he was supposed to. That's how he was supposed to walk out last year.
But why would he need to though? He doesn't need to.
Yes, he does. All the greats got a send off.
He did get it. He got a send off with The Rock.
When? WrestleMania 30?
Yeah, when he fought The Rock.
Nah, that wasn't no send off because we didn't know he was retiring.
He's okay. Granted, it was like a kind of a, like spare of the moment. Not a spare of the moment, but Austin knew.
That was the last. We just knew that was going to be the last time him and Rock faced each other at Mania.
Right. And he announced it to everybody like, yo, I can't do this no more. But that was on Austin. Austin knew that. In the documentaries, it says it. Austin knew it.
That was going to be his last match.
Austin, yeah, and you watch the documentary leading up to the match. Austin knew.
Yeah, they didn't think he was going to be able to perform that night.
Yeah, right. because he was in so much pain. He was like, but I'm gonna still do it. I'm gonna go. As a matter of fact, Vince was gonna call a match off.
Yeah, because they thought he was gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah,
because he was drinking so much coffee.
But Austin, right? Exactly. But Austin knew that. Austin knew it. But my point is this: is that Austin did not have to win that match at all against Kevin. There was no reason why. Because Kevin got to listen. You didn't. If
you're saying that, then Edge don't need to win at WrestleMania. Then
he don't.
But he is.
I pray to God he doesn't. To beat the demon. If he beat Finn Balor, I'm done with Edge. But Edge is not that kind of guy.
What? Edge ain't put himself over?
Yeah, he ain't gonna put himself over on Finn. He ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, right.
He's not gonna do it.
They're gonna put the world title on Edge before he retires.
I'm not. If they do it, it'd be the worst thing to do. Why would you want to put the only other person I'll put the belt on that's like out of that that's like in that like kind of in that same class? The only other person I put the belt on a world championship is Randy Orton. That's the only other person.
They said he's gonna be at Mania.
Yeah, I heard. I think he's gonna help Cody.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's gonna help Cody. I think he's gonna hit Roman with an RKO, or he's gonna pop up out of somewhere. And I was like, why is he? Because what other reason would he be at Mania? Who else would he have? Who else does he has ties to? He was feuding with the Bloodline, right?
Yeah, they don't know what they're gonna do.
He was in Legacy with Cody.
Yeah. I think you're right, because Riddle's not on the card.
Yep. And then the thing about it is I mean, like after Cody win that belt, that we have to have Cody versus Randy. We have to have that feud. That has to happen. It has to happen. It's like it's one of those feuds that's like, yo, before I die, I need to see this. Cody in the height of his
Randy could wrestle again. The rumor is that he could wrestle again.
Yeah, they were afraid. They were afraid that he was going to retire. Actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that the night after Mania is going to be epic. Something big going to happen the night after Mania.
What you think is going to happen?
I know it is. I don't know. A new signee, somebody that we never expected to come in WWE going to pop up.
Well, if Jay White show up, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know Jay White. So do you bring him the night of Mania where it's like 100,000 people, or do you wait the night after?
Well, I mean, you would suspect that a lot of people probably didn't know who AJ Styles was, but when he showed up at Royal Rumble, everybody went crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy, yeah. Because of TNA. Jay White never really had no TNA. He came to TNA, but nobody was watching it then. Yeah,
nobody's watching it. That's true.
That's why I think his debut will be better than Night of Mania, because all the marks is going to be there. All the people that watch everything going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody that I'm following on Twitter is flying out Thursday to go to Mania. So, and they watch everything. So yeah, they got to find a way for him to debut at Mania, and I think it's going to happen. If he does, it's going to happen during Miz doing whatever in the ring. His first feud is going to be with the Miz.
When is Omega's contract up?
2024.
He re-signed, or that's when it's up?
That's when it's up.
What about the Bucks? The same thing?
Same thing. Miro's contract, Miro got 3 years left on his contract. So the issue with Miro, right? They asked him to feud with Hangman in some battle royal. They wanted to put him in a battle royal with Hangman, right? And then they supposedly both of them supposed to eliminate each other at the same time. Blah blah blah. It was supposed to start a feud, and then Miro told Tony Khan, hell no.
Why?
He just said no. He didn't like it. He said no. That's what a battle royal. What are we doing? Battle royal for what?
Oh, so it was just like a battle royal, just to have a battle royal match, just to start a feud.
They didn't say what. Yeah, they didn't say what the battle royal was for or nothing. So Miro, and that's why Miro hasn't been on TV. And they said, man, he got 3 years left on his contract. And they said he just sitting there, just not doing nothing.
Just because he don't want to feud with Hangman or do that angle?
Yeah, that angle was he didn't like the angle. So they couldn't make nothing up for him after that. I'm like, that's crazy. You got this man sitting at home, bro.
Wow.
With 3 years left on his contract.
They got to bring him back. So what I'm hearing is the rumor is that CM Punk is officially done.
Yeah, they hiding they blocking his faces on trailers now and all that. Yeah,
They blocking.
Yeah, they did a segment on Dynamite and they covered up his face with like boards.
Wow.
Yeah, earlier in the night they showed the trailer pulling into the parking lot and it had his face on it. And then during the segment, you could see that they covered it up with the boards and stuff.
So I was online. I seen a story where in the story they were talking what's his name? It was Moxley. They were talking about how there was supposed to be I believe
posted it in the group.
You posted in the group? All right.
Yeah, that's the one when they were talking about when they wanted to feud with Moxley or something like that, and Punk turned it down.
Yeah, and because it was supposed to be a squash match because Punk was supposed to hand over the belt because he was injured, and it was supposed to be just a straight squash, and CM Punk apparently didn't like the idea, but he said, "I'll do it." And then, okay, is it this one right here? That was the Bully Ray one.
And then Jericho said that he was lying, and then he ended up deleting it from his Instagram story.
Jericho said that CM Punk was lying or Moxley was lying?
CM Punk.
Yeah, he said that CM Punk, because CM Punk said he agreed to it, but then he was like, he was injured, and he was like, he chooses his health over anything else.
Yeah, he won't do that for another company again. He won't put his health over another wrestling company again. That's what he was saying.
You think it was his health, or you think he was blowing smoke?
CM Punk, bro. You never know with this guy. I don't know what to believe with Phil anymore, bro. Phil be blowing so much gas. I don't even know, bro. I be saying some crazy stuff, but Phil got it. CM Punk, I can't call him CM Punk. He's Phil now, bro.
Phil Brooks. Yo, this is like probably one of the biggest like letdowns in sports entertainment, period. CM Punk. That's crazy. Because then
yeah, my fault. My phone is going crazy tonight.
And that's all right. That's crazy because you know the thing about it is what's gonna happen is we're gonna give it like maybe like another year and a half. And then that's where, or maybe earlier, but there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be making videos on YouTube or writing articles. Was CM Punk worth all the hype? Was he worth the hype? Was CM Punk really? And it's crazy because, you know, when you look back at everything, it's always based upon what you do. It's based upon what you were able to do. And the time and in those time frames where you had the heat, when you were hot, when you was on fire, and you had the opportunity to have those matches, and you had the opportunity to really build a strong legacy to bring more fans, or to have those great matches and cut those excellent promos, especially where everybody was behind you. And when you struck when the iron was hot, that's what people look at. You know, and we do at times reflect on what could have been, but when you have people like CM Punk that really had, you know, lightning in the bottle, it's like, what did you do with it? Did you use it? Did you use that lightning, or did you just squander it on yourself? Or did you just make bad decisions that cause everything that you've built all this time to work up to just amount to nothing? And
well,
it's crazy.
He can't handle the pressure. He asked to be the man, and then when he was the man, he fumbled. He got mad when it was time to stop.
He can't handle the pressure.
Yeah. Like he just wanted to be
Yeah.
champion all year for 7 years straight. No,
Yeah.
it's not. You gotta, yeah. The
Punk,
man
yeah, Punk,
loses sometimes, man.
yeah, Punk can't handle the pressure. He really can't. He's not one of those guys that I'm like, yeah, like pressure. It's just like he get like when he gets under pressure, it's like whenever he gets to that point of achieving, he doesn't want to. It's like that's it. That's it. This is where I'm at. I don't want to move. And it's like, bro, sometimes this, even though it's like you got other people who give the rub to everybody and they're not threatened by their reputation or not threatened by the career they built because they understand like if I'm hot, I'm hot. I already created something great. So
Yeah,
eventually I'm gonna come back to the spot again. I'm gonna revisit. If I did it once, I'm gonna revisit this spot again. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, but yeah, after watching that whole situation and then like him posing himself to be a locker room leader in WWE and then for him to go to AEW and not actually be able to be a leader is just like, it's like that was a perfect opportunity to show you as a leader. You know what I'm saying? Had nothing to do with your ego, had everything to do with you trying to make peace in a chaotic situation. And that's what leaders do. Make peace in chaotic situations. And he wasn't able to do that, especially at that moment. He just and more than likely incited more drama.
Sometimes he just got. He don't know how to humble himself. If he's just be humble, he would have been all right. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's true.
AEW was fine before he got there, and it's fine with. I mean, it's not. It hasn't been. It's been off and on since he left, but it was fine before he definitely got there. I liked it way better before he got there.
I'll be honest with you. Like when he got there, it was definitely dope to see him come back. But honestly, it was always based upon what he would have been able to do in that moment. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like, what are you going to do with what you got right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, and it's a funny thing. I hate. I'm going to bring it back to Hogan, but I will. I'm sorry, but I got to. Because when you look at him and you look at Hogan for what Hogan did wasn't easy. What Hogan did was not. It's like now that you look at it, what Hogan did was not easy. You went to a whole nother company, was the man, and then you got on fire again and brought the company back and brought a company up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. Like the task that that's why I say Hogan's the GOAT. It's like what Hogan did, not a lot of people gonna be able to like there's some people I could look at and be like, if this person went to this company, they could do it. Like I look at The Rock, I'm like, if we got The Rock from the Attitude Era and he left and he went to like TNA would be a whole nother company. Like
RVD did it.
you know.
RVD was he was the man in ECW. Listen, he was the man in ECW. Then he went to WWE, became world champion there and the Continental champion. Then went to TNA, became world champion there.
He didn't increase the ratings. That's what I'm talking about. He went. I mean, a lot of wrestlers went to other places. Like Bobby Lashley was a world champion in WWE. You know what I'm saying? But he was a star. He was a big star. He was well on his way there. Had he not quit, eventually he probably would have been like the first African American, like besides The Rock, another African American champion. But he went over to TNT. He got the belt. Granted, he had a dope character, a dope angle. I started watching a little bit of a TNA because of Bobby Lashley, but ratings wasn't like going through the roof. Ratings at that time was like struggling, like like they were struggling to keep 100,000 people. I mean, a few 100,000 people to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I was listening to this pod earlier and they was talking about TNA, and like a lot of people, they made sense when they said they don't know how TNA is still in business after Hogan and Bischoff, yo.
I don't know.
That Hogan and Bischoff wasn't a storyline, like that was real life. They really brought that company down.
They did. They did. That's definitely something that I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, this is the thing. I think we all know what the issue was with TNA. It's the same issue that WCW had. They were not making new stars.
Yeah, it's bringing in the old WWE guys.
Right. But what TNA is doing now is they've made new stars, or they're making new stars for the business. Yeah. But at this point, a lot of the fans that they had before don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. I don't care now because I was big TNA.
Yeah. So now it's like when you cared, they didn't do it, and now that you don't care, they're doing it, and you're kind of like, well, that it's like all the steam has been, squeezed out of the machine already. So it's like you don't really care too much about paying attention to who else they got. I mean, even though you may go over there and you may look from time to time, but that level of attention you would try to pay to it, you don't have it no more. It's like,
and then they best wrestlers just got hurt.
Who, Sami Callihan?
Nah, Josh Alexander just got hurt.
Josh Alexander? Saying like
torn Achilles, so that's like 9 months right there.
He got to resign. He got to relinquish the title.
Hell yeah! And they got what's his name that was in NXT fighting for the title? The Japanese dude, Jacket Time. What's his name? Kushida.
The dude who's open his jacket like a pervert. Is that him? He be like, woo, like woo, woo. Is that him?
No, not him. Thank God it was not him. No, not him. The other one, the one that used to dress like Back to the Future.
Oh yeah. I remember him. Yeah. He was a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, he good.
So they're putting a title on him.
No, they got him fighting somebody. I forgot the other dude's name.
Why don't they just put the belt back on Moose?
I don't even know what's going on with Moose. They're jobbing Moose right now. I don't know why.
Why are they doing? It's weird. Like Moose.
They got him fighting for the digital. They got him fighting for like the digital media championship. Like,
wow. You
didn't just see the match he had? He got hit with a Sega Dreamcast and all that.
What?
Yeah, they got Moose looking bad over there, yo.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he just got hit with a Sega Dreamcast a month ago.
I'm watching the match. I gotta see this. This is nuts. I
gotta see. Yeah, Moose is doing bad, bro. I don't know what happened. It's like after the pandemic, they was like, "We don't need you no more." And he had a fire. You seen the match he had against Kenny?
Who?
With Moose and Kenny. You didn't see that match?
Yeah.
You never seen that match with Kenny and Omega versus Moose on Dynamite?
Yeah. Okay.
He was giving out bangers.
Kenny
Omega versus Moose.
Nah, this was in TNA.
Yeah, they had one on Dynamite, and then I think they had one at Sacrifice, one of their pay-per-views. And then they got this. Now you got this man getting hit with Sega Dreamcasts, fighting for digital media titles.
Yo, why is he getting? Joe Hendry takes out Moose with a Sega Dreamcast. Why?
I told you, bro.
I don't think Moose wants to wrestle anymore.
That's what you don't probably want to wrestle with TNA.
Oh my God.
Probably trying to get out his contract. They're not gonna fire him.
How long did we sign? Like a 100-year contract? Because he's been wrestling.
No, Moose been over there for a while, and I never heard his name about free agent. I never heard his name in the same sentence as free agent.
Because honestly, if he leaves TNA, I could definitely see him going to like NXT for like a year and then going to the main roster.
He's too old for NXT.
Yeah, he probably would be too old for NXT.
He go to NXT, they gonna treat him. He go to NXT, they gonna treat him like how they treating Djokovic right now. Look how they jobbing Djokovic.
Really, because Tommaso Ciampa was pretty old. He's pretty old.
Yeah,
Ciampa's
But he
pretty
could.
old.
But he was Triple H was in charge then.
But Triple H is still he still has creative control.
No, Sean got NXT.
Right, but that's true. But they work together. I mean, they're gonna appreciate the talent.
Look what they doing to Joker. Look, they repackaged Djokovic to be a jobber. You see that shit, right?
Nah, I haven't been watching NXT since
Yeah,
Black
he's a
and Gold.
jobber now. He's losing to all the new dudes, yo. All his feuds he's been losing.
Djokovic is who though?
That's the one. Remember, they used to feud with Keith Lee, the big German kid. Feast your eyes. Remember?
But wasn't he the guy that was part of
Yeah, they repackaged him to his old self.
Which well, you know, you gotta redeem yourself after being part of that gimmick. He was part of what's it called, right? What was that group called?
Retribution.
Yeah, I mean, yo, May still didn't recover, man. He went eyeshadow and got glitter on his eyelids and all this. Yo, man, he ain't recovered from that, man.
And I don't even know where the little short one with the mask went.
Who was that?
I don't even know. I don't even remember his name.
Yeah,
Retribution, man. They had something with that, man.
They did, but they chose Mustafa Ali to be the leader. Go figure. Go figure. Mustafa Ali. If Seth Rollins was the leader, it would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Seth leading Retribution, but if he was still a Monday Night Messiah, that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
And Murphy, Theory,
yeah,
AOP,
yeah. If they would have did Retribution like that, yeah, and had them, that would have worked. That would have been perfect. But you know, Vince McMahon, I'm surprised Seth even got that far with a faction.
I would have even added Dolph in that too to be the sixth man.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Either him or Corbin.
I'll probably put Corbin. I'll put Corbin in there. Because Corbin
he would have needed it more than anybody because Corbin doing bad right now. Yeah, he's doing bad.
He's doing terrible.
I don't know what they're doing with him right now again. Are they going back to broke Corbin again?
What I heard was they have nothing for him. And they're actually burying him, like, until they find something for him. But I heard that the plan is that Triple H and Creative has nothing for him. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to disassociate him from his old character to get him to go back to until they revert him back to the Lone Wolf.
Yes, I was hoping. I knew it was going back. I knew it was going back there, bro.
But what will make it work? And the thing about it is, honestly, him being the Lone Wolf right now.
You know why it makes sense too? Because nobody wants to be his friend. Everybody's beating him up.
Right. Yeah. And it's fitting for the storyline. It makes a lot.
Yeah.
It brings more purpose to. Make more purposeful for why he would be the lone wolf. It's like I'm alone. I walk alone. It's like it makes it's. Yeah. But it's so crazy. I didn't even spot that. I didn't even check that out. But that's great storytelling. Like now we're seeing like how these certain things are starting to make sense with each person's character versus them just
going back to
1 minute, you know, like you're the king, and then the next day, one day you go to no, you're the king, and then you lose a match where you lose your crown, and then the next day you show up as being broken bum, and they calling you bum ass Corbin, and then you go to Vegas, you know what I'm saying? You win you win like a few $1 million in a casino, and all of a sudden like you happy Corbin is like, you know, it's just like Vince ideas for story building and what he was doing. It was just like, dog, like you all over the place, man. Like you really thinking like an old man, like a real old man, just all over the place. Like not really putting any actual thought into why these characters are becoming what they are. Man,
that's just Vince. He's stuck in his old ways, yo.
Indeed, but I really hope that they sell his company to somebody who's going to say, all right, you know, these are certain things that I want to see, but ultimately y'all have creative control. Like, go ahead, do it. You know what I'm saying? Run a company how you want to run a company. You know, make it the way it needs to be made. You know, build it up. But they just a person who owns the product and allows Triple H and allows Triple H to stay in control of creative. But
I don't want them to sell it at all. I think everything is fine the way it is, man.
I think it is too. But they have to in order to get it out of Vince's grip, because if Vince still has control of the company.
Yeah, because you can tell he still got a little bit of his touches going on too.
Yeah.
Like that Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler thing. Like, I don't understand what's going on with that. Like,
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to find something that works for Mustafa, because he's a great talent, but he needs to be repackaged into something that works for him. Mustafa's great on the mic when given the opportunity. Like, if he really gets the opportunity to cut a great promo, I think if he can cut something good, but it's just that his ring attire is not working for him. His image is not working for him. You know what I'm saying? He's just coming off as just like a jobber. You know what I'm saying? Who's just whining about why he doesn't have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Versus actually finding an actual angle that works for him. Because Mustafa, I definitely believe he's talented in the ring, but he ain't got no personality. He don't have anything.
Yeah, he don't got nothing at all.
Nah.
Good wrestler, no personality.
Murder. Man, oh man, oh man. WrestleMania season is upon us. Are you excited?
Yo, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited because there's a lot of stuff that could happen that night that could change the whole shift of the whole, everything could just change that night. The bloodline, everything could end for the bloodline in one night, in 2 nights. I mean,
that's very true.
Everything could end for the bloodline just like that. And then after what happened with that Solo and Roman thing on Raw this past Monday, and then Solo about to fight Cody on Monday, the Monday before Mania. Yeah. We don't know what's about to happen. We don't know what's about to happen. Like yo.
So you think the Bloodline is gonna keep their titles?
I think the tag titles the Usos is losing. The Usos is losing, and Roman's gonna end up winning. The Usos that's what's gonna make everything a little more like why I'm always the one gotta step up. Like that's what Roman's gonna be like, yo, look, I'm the only one around here with gold. Like I'm the only one that steps up when it counts. I come through in the clutch. Whoever they put in front of me, I lay them down.
So I mean, well, from what I heard, the rumor is that Triple H still has not decided on a finish for WrestleMania.
I believe that.
That's the rumor. That's what Dave Meltzer was saying.
But
you know Dave. Good old Dave.
Good old Dave.
Dave Meltzer.
AEW himself.
Mr. AEW. Oh, God. 5-star. It was a 5-star match. It was a 5-star match. Daniel Bryan versus a broomstick. It was a 5-star match. Like, dog, stop, man. Stop it, Dave. Stop it, man.
Everything.
And like they literally, like, WWE had one of the best Royal Rumbles and Survivor Series they've had in years.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this might be the best Mania ever.
I don't think it's going to be the best Mania. I think it's going to be in the line of great Manias to come.
And look, and there's no celebrity matches this year, yo. Look how real it is. We don't got no bum ass celebrities.
We do. Seth versus what's that guy named? Jake.
Logan's a full-time WWE. He signed a WWE contract.
He did?
Yeah, Logan's a WWE superstar.
So they trying to ease him into the roster?
Yeah.
I thought he signed a contract for just a match against The Miz.
Nah, look what that led to.
He is dope in the ring.
Yeah, he signed a con. I believe he's a full time WWE superstar. He works certain dates. He don't got an every week schedule.
Yeah, he's good though. He good money.
Yeah,
He
I
good
hate
money.
him on the mic. He's horrible on the mic.
Yeah, he's terrible. I mean, he's getting there. I've
He's
seen
horrible.
worse. I've heard worse.
He's like the Disco Inferno on the mic. He's horrible.
Nah, man, come on. You know who's bad on the mic? Who used to be really bad? Roman was really bad on the mic.
Oh man, was he?
Roman was terrible. Roman was really
I was
terrible.
glad they let him off that leash.
Yeah.
I was
When
glad.
he felt a little bit more liberal to really express more about how he felt and he was able to shoot. But even now, like you could tell, like he still has to be more comfortable in being consistent in his thoughts because it's like he's more comfortable and he can say what he wants to say when he gets out what he needs to say first. But then when somebody else says something to kind of like give him like a verbal spat to go back and forth, he's not quick. He just says what he's just going to give you his good line here, and then after they say what they say, is like he can't follow up with it. He'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna just leave it at that and just walk and just kind of, and that's what he does. Like he'll just give you his good line and then keep it moving.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But
That's a fact.
I think Cody going. If Cody loses, I'll be very surprised.
You should be surprised if he wins.
I won't be surprised. He's the man right now.
It doesn't mean nothing. Everybody's been the man after his face in Roman.
No, I mean like Cody. He's having good matches, and he's really selling his promos like really good. Like when you look at John Cena before he became big, like he was really selling like these are the key factors where you see like, yo, this guy, he has that feel. He has that championship feel. Like Cena was doing that. Randy was doing it. Who else is doing
Do you
it?
think if Cody wins, he holds the belt to next year? And
I
fights
think it
Seth?
depends on I think it depends on merchandise.
And he fights Seth at next year's Mania?
It depends on merchandise.
His merch is going to sell regardless.
His merch is going to sell, but with Cody, what makes Cody different? What makes Cody puts him in that same place as Roman is he has universal appeal. Like he appeals to kids and adults. Like he cuts good enough promos to where everybody can just like get something from it. A child can get something from it, and people and the men who are watching it get something from it. Like he has universal appeal. Like he's giving you both. Versus like John Cena when he was rapping, it was like you got mothers covering their children's ears, like, no, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like they hiding. With Hogan, you know what I'm saying? Hogan was like, he appealed a lot to the kids, but he appealed up more to the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he was that big charismatic personality that sports and entertainment, needed in order to take it to the next level. But now in this day and age, people, a lot of us fans want something that's more relatable to a common man. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's a little bit more realistic. That's why Austin came off more appealing or a little bit more appealing, Even while The Rock had to be more edgy with his promos and say the things that he had to say, and just like snap on people.
The Rock was corny. That first image of The Rock that they gave us,
it was terrible.
That was horrible.
It was crazy. What was crazy is that like even when Triple H was like when Triple H started reaching like the height of the game, of being the game, like when The Rock won the belt at Backlash and got the belt, literally like maybe 2 weeks later, the fans were booing him. I'm a Rock fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Rock fan. I guarantee you, like if you go back and you watch the Monday Night Raws and the SmackDowns 2 weeks after The Rock won that title, they were booing him. And then they were booing him. And then like you see mad fans with Triple H signs holding it up, like, yo, they were booing him. It was crazy to me because I'm like, yo, why are they booing him? It bothered me so much because I'm a Rock fan. I'm like, yo, why are they booing him? But Triple H was that because Triple H was that heel that adults related to. The Rock, even though The Rock was still The Rock, he was funny, he was human. I mean, he was funny and humorous, and we can relate to him. It was just like, yo, they were still booing him. They were booing him. I was like, yo, this is wild. Like, this dude is like the hottest wrestler right now. He's a good guy, and he's just as edgy as a villain, and y'all still booing him. It was crazy. But yeah, man, it's that relatability. But I think Cody got it, man.
I don't think so.
Any news and rumors?
Well, Bray Wyatt, they expected him to be ready for Mania.
Okay, I thought he was officially out.
Yeah, no, there's rumor have it that he's definitely going to be there for Mania. Well, I'm hyped about that because that's the match I was really looking forward to be honest with you, for night one. I think it's night one. I don't even know what matches are on what night anymore. I just know how they split. They don't even have that many matches. Just make it 2 nights.
Yeah, well, we all come into the week of the Mania, so they're going to probably start announcing everything this week and start really just,
they start announcing stuff tonight. That I know the Andre the Giant Memorial is going to be on Friday. So I guess in the Hall of Fame is going to be on Saturday or that Friday. So you have NXT Hall of Fame, then Mania.
Yeah,
it's going to be a long weekend of wrestling.
But the Hall of Fame ceremony is like what, 3 hours?
Hell yeah!
I never watched one.
You never watched one? I like to watch it. It's funny.
I never seen one before.
I watched the DX one.
They need to do. They haven't done an Evolution one, right?
Nah, Evolution hasn't gone in yet.
Just DX.
Yeah, just DX and NWO and Horseman.
Because Triple H needs like 3 inductions.
No other factions is going in. Just the Horsemen or the Freebirds. Freebirds. I don't know if the Von Erichs are in the Hall of Fame. I don't think so.
You sure? Wait, hold on a second. Nah, they didn't do an Evolution. Hall of Fame.
Flair only got a Horseman and himself by himself. He didn't get Evolution yet. This would be the perfect year for it. This would be the Triple H got to go in the Hall of Fame solo this year. I don't care what anybody says.
He has to go in. I've been waiting for it. There's maybe there's 2 or 3 things I'm waiting for when it comes to Triple H. I'm waiting for that rivalry. They need to make. I'm gonna make my own video because this is ridiculous. I can't wait. I'm tired of waiting. It's been way too long. But they never really talk about his feud between him and The Rock. Him and The Rock had one of the greatest feuds in history, period. His Hall of Fame introduction is he should have been put in the Hall of Fame with Evolution, and then of course him himself. They're gonna do it. I think they're gonna do it, but they're just probably just holding off.
Because Batista supposedly not supposed to be the main event for the Hall of Fame this year. That's supposedly. So I'm like, they probably giving it to Hunter.
He keeps backing out.
Yeah, they probably giving it to Hunter.
Yeah. Unless Hunter doesn't want it.
How would you put Batista in there before Hunter?
I think Triple H don't want to do it because he's alive. Because he didn't want to retire.
Yeah, I know.
And that
he still had a couple good matches left in him.
He did, yeah. Until he caught that heart attack, and then after that, it was like, yo, he had no choice. Because he beat the hell out of Batista in that last match.
He beat Batista's ass.
I'm like, Batista probably did like 3 or 4 spine busters and a few clotheslines, but the whole match, Triple H just beating this nigga up, just
beating his ass,
pulling earrings out this nigga body, hitting him in the head with steel chairs, pedigreed him on a steel chair on a steel staircase. He was like buzzing, but he's beating Batista's ass. I'm like, damn.
Which Mania was that? I gotta go back and watch that one.
I think it was. We on Mania what 30? We on Mania 39, right?
Yeah, so what was that, like 35?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 35. That was the Mania where.
No, that was Kofi Mania. 35 was Kofi Mania.
Okay. So
It was after that, right?
Which one? I think it was. But I'm trying to. Let me see. Hold on a second.
Or was it WrestleMania Dallas 32? Was it 32? No, because he fought Roman then in Dallas.
Yeah.
But they did Dallas twice, though. They did Arlington twice.
Let me see. Which WrestleMania was it? I'm trying to remember what was on the card.
I know next year I can't wait till they bring that shit back to New York. They probably won't bring it back until the 50th anniversary.
I mean, well, the 40th anniversary is going to be next year.
Yeah, but the 50th one would make more sense. Because the first one was here. The first one was here in New York. Because the 50th one should be in New York. The 100th one should be in New York. You know, keep it going like that.
All right. I'm pulling up the history right now. Let's see. So 35. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and Becky main evented that one. In Charlotte, right? That was a triple threat.
Oh God, 34 was so terrible.
What was 34?
Oh God, that was Roman versus Brock in New Orleans. Oh, that was terrible.
Which one was that? Which one was that? Was that their first one? No, their first one was 31, right? I'm wilding, yeah. What else was on that card?
For 34?
Yeah.
I'm about to find out right now. I'll tell you. Damn, that shit was terrible.
Brock and Roman. Brock and Roman had like 2 years straight, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, because 32 was Roman and Hunter. 33 was Brock and Goldberg, I think.
All right, so you had
33 was Brock and Goldberg.
So at WrestleMania 34, you had this match was this card was terrible. You had Matt Hardy versus Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali, Naomi versus Bayley, Seth Rollins, The Miz, and Finn Balor. A triple threat match. You had Charlotte versus Asuka. That's when Asuka won the Women's Royal Rumble and lost. This is where, you had Jinder Mahal versus Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Rusev, and Aiden English. You had Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. You had the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos, the New Day, and the New Day. You had Undertaker versus John Cena. That's when John Cena got washed. You had Daniel Bryan versus Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. And then you had AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. This is where Shinsuke and Asuka both won the Royal Rumble.
Yep, and they both lost.
And both lost. That was terrible. Braun Strowman and Nicholas. And he had Brock Lesnar. Oh, this was like the worst WrestleMania ever, yo. This is terrible.
I don't think it wasn't worse than the Miz's main event one.
What WrestleMania was that? That was
27.
20s. All right, let's see. Hold on a second. Let's look at this card. Because at least with that WrestleMania, you had The Rock. But then we had some stuff. I think we had Shinsuke versus Daniel Bryan for the United States.
Shinsuke versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Sheamus, my bad. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. The Great Khali won by eliminating Sheamus in a battle royal. Okay. That was terrible. Yeah, this is terrible. Because Sheamus went against Daniel Bryan, and it ended in a no contest. It was a lumberjack match for the WWE United States Championship. And then you had Great Khali winning by eliminating Sheamus. I'm like, why Sheamus? Why Sheamus? Okay, anyway, you had Edge with Christian defeating Alberto Del Rio with Brodus Clay and Ricardo Rodriguez. Terrible. Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. They said that was actually a good match.
Yeah, that was.
A good match. I remember I seen this pay-per-view, but I don't remember like so much about the different matches in between. You had Big Show, Kane, Kofi Kingston, and Santino Marella against the Core, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, and Wade Barrett. This was an 8-man tag match at WrestleMania. Oh, this was the match of the night. This was the match. It was Randy Orton versus CM Punk. That was the best match on the card because that's when Randy Orton caught CM Punk with that RKO off of the second rope.
Yeah.
That was dope. Michael Cole with Jack Swagger defeating Jerry Lawler. Oh God. The Undertaker versus oh yeah. No, I'm sorry. This was the match. Because this is when it was the Undertaker versus Triple H, and they had this second match in the streak. That was actually the best match on the card.
This is the one when they carry Takeout on the card, right?
Yeah. At the end, and they had to carry Taker out because he was like out of breath. Yeah. That was the best match of the whole pay-per-view. That match is fire. That was the best match. That was actually one of Taker's like his best matches in the streak was against either him. It was either against Triple H or Shawn, in my opinion.
The one against Flair was good.
In the streak?
Yeah, the one against Flair was all right.
That one I gotta see. That one I haven't watched. John Morrison, Nicole, Snooki, Palazzi. Oh, Snooki from Jersey Shore. Trish Stratus against Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool. And then you had The Miz versus John Cena. I mean, you had two great matches. You had a classic match. No, you had three. You had a classic match, Undertaker versus Triple H. You had Randy Orton and CM Punk, and you had Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio. So it was
I wouldn't say Cody and Ray was a classic.
No, not a classic. I'm saying Undertaker and Triple H was a classic.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And Randy Orton and CM Punk was a great match. And Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio was a great match. So you had three great matches in the card of 10. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say it was the worst, but it wasn't that great. You know what I'm saying? It's not ranked among
10 ain't good, so for WrestleMania, it's supposed to be at least an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, you're supposed to get 8 out of 10. I agree, 100%.
Like last year's WrestleMania. Besides that McMahon and Pat McAfee situation.
Hold on a second. How was last year's WrestleMania?
It was great until McMahon got involved. Vince got involved with the Austin Theory and Pat McAfee thing.
All right, hold on a second.
And he kicked him with the football. Remember he kicked him with the football?
Oh, yeah. Yo, I do. I remember that. Okay. That's just hilarious.
Here we go.
All right. I'm looking at it right now.
It'll be a mania without Vince.
You had the Usos and Jimmy. You had the Usos versus Shinsuke and Rick Boogs, and Rick Boogs got injured.
Yeah.
You had Drew versus Happy Corbin. Yeah.
That was that was the worst match of the night.
Yeah, definitely. The Miz and Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio. That was actually a good match. Mm-hmm. Pretty good. Bianca Belair versus Becky, which she won a title back. That was pretty good. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. That was good. Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. That was good. You had Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, which was pretty good. So the first night was pretty decent, but I think the second night was what really made WrestleMania better because you had RK Bro versus the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. Yeah,
That
Bobby
match was
Lashley.
fire.
Yeah, that match is dope.
That's when Riddle
Bobby
caught that crazy RKO.
Yeah. Word. That was fire. You had Bobby Lashley and Omos.
That was actually good.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
That was good.
No, that was good.
That
That
was
was
good.
that was good. I remember it. Yeah, I remember because Wee Man came out at the end. Yeah, Wee Man came out.
Body slammed him.
Yeah, Sasha Banks, Naomi against Carmella, Zelina Morgan.
That was
I'm sorry,
trash.
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Natalia, Shayna Baszler. You had Edge and AJ Styles.
That was
That was all right.
yeah, it was alright.
It was all right. Yeah, Sheamus, Rich Holland, and Butch against the New Day. That was good, right?
No Big E.
Right, no biggie. I don't remember that match.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. That's the football. You had wait. You had Pat McAfee defeating Austin Theory with Vince McMahon, and then Mr. McMahon with Austin Theory defeats Pat McAfee. What kind of this is why.
That's where it went.
Oh man, Jesus Christ. Then you have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar so they can end their feud. So this WrestleMania was okay. I mean, but you had the highlight, of course, was Cody versus Seth, and that arcade match.
One of my favorite manias is the first one out of the pandemic.
That was 35.
With Drew and Lashley.
Yeah,
and 37. That was 37.
37. That's when Cesaro caught whatchamacallit with the UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a good one.
That was Sasha, Bianca.
Yeah.
The main event was Roman, Daniel, and Edge. That main event was fire.
Yeah, that main event was fire. Yeah. That was a classic. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope. Yeah, you had Randy versus The Fiend.
Yeah, that was kind of corny though.
Yeah, Sheamus versus Riddle.
That was fire.
Yeah, Apollo Crews versus Big E.
That was fire for the IC title. I think Crews won too.
Yeah, Crews won that one. You had Rhea versus Asuka.
Asuka won, right?
Rhea won
for the title.
Yep.
What title? NXT.
The Raw Women's title. That's when I think Rhea was champion.
I don't remember Rhea being Raw champion.
Yeah, she was champion. She held the belt once.
During the pandemic?
After the I think during the pandemic, and then coming out of it, I think.
She won the title twice?
If I'm not mistaken, I think she did.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Right? Because I'm sorry, she won it once.
All right.
Yeah, she had to win.
I didn't even know Rhea Asuka. I gotta go. I might have to watch that Mania tonight. I didn't even know Rhea Asuka had a match on that card.
Yeah, they had a match.
And Pat McAfee had a match that night too, right?
Nah, not that Mania. It was a Mania. Afterwards.
Who was it against?
I think we just talked about it. The one with
that wasn't his first match against Theory. He had another match before that.
Hold on a second. This is 37. 38. Yeah, that was 38. 38 is the one we was talking about. Because
that's the only Mania he fought at?
Yeah.
So what other matches? Oh, all his matches was at NXT?
NXT.
Wow. He had some classics. They don't even talk about those matches because of who they were with, because it was Adam Cole.
You had this actually was a good Mania. You had Bobby versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, they started off the show.
Yeah, you had Natalia.
They had that crazy promo in the beginning, like, yo, we don't want to wait. We don't care if it's raining. We want to fight right now.
Oh yeah. That joint was hard. Yeah. Natalia versus Tamina, and the Riot Squad. That was then you had Cesaro versus Seth. That was hard. That was a dope match. Then you had AJ Styles and Almost against the New Day. Then you had Braun and Shane McMahon. Then you had Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. That was a good match. And then you had Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. That to me, that was a classic. That was a dope match, yo. That was a good Mania. That was definitely one of my favorite Manias. Definitely. That was a dope Mania. Let me see. I'm trying to find the one where
what was on night 2? That was night 2, the main event, Sasha and Bianca.
That was night 1.
What was the main? Oh, Edge and Roman was the night 2.
Yeah, Edge, Roman, and Daniel, because that match kind of was like the highlight of that whole thing. So was it? I think it was 35 where Triple H fought at Kofi where he fought Batista.
For real?
Yeah, it was. Yep, it was. It was 35. You had Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy. Tony Nese beats Buddy Murphy. This is crazy. You had Carmella versus Sarah Logan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Then you had Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder against the Revival. Then you had Braun Strowman.
That's a pre-show. This got to be pre-show.
Yeah, it's pre-show. Braun Strowman versus Colin Joust. And that's all the pre-show, those 4 matches. And then the main show, you had Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the belt. That's when Seth beat Brock.
Yeah.
Then you had AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Then you had the Usos versus Aleister Black and Ricochet, Rusev and Shinsuke, and The Bar for the belt.
Yeah, I remember that. I was just watching that Mania.
Then you had Shane versus The Miz, which The Miz should have won. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't understand why Shane won that. That was crazy.
That was ridiculous. Then you had the Iconics.
Yeah, they won that night.
The Boston Hug Connection, which is Bayley and Sasha Banks. You had Nia Jackson, Tamina.
Yeah, the Iconics won that.
Yeah, the Iconics won that.
That was the best decision they made.
Yeah. Then you had Kofi Kingston. Wait, hold on. You had Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. That was a dope match. A classic in my eyes. I think it was a classic. It's a classic. That's a classic to me. That's a classic.
Yeah.
That should be a classic. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio.
That was a 5-minute match.
It was short. Yeah. Joe choked him out real quick.
I think Rey was hurt.
You had Roman versus Drew.
That was trash.
And then after that you had Triple H versus Batista.
The Roman versus Drew, that was Roman's first match out of remission.
Was it?
Yeah, that was fresh out of cancer.
It was. Because then Brock was holding the belt at the went in.
That match with him and Drew, everybody was looking forward to it, but it didn't come out the way it was supposed to.
Then you had Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that was, oh my God.
Terrible. Then
they tried with this guy so many times, and it's like,
yeah,
you put him in with Kurt Angle, and he still can't get it right. And that wasn't supposed to be Kurt Angle's last match. They were supposed to bring Cena back for that.
That's what Kurt Angle wanted. He wanted Cena for his last match, but Vince said no. Vince said no. Vince is being a hater.
Yeah, facts.
Vince is being a hater. Either he's being a hater or just being really stupid. Then you have the Demon Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. That was actually good, but it would have been better if Finn Balor
fought Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, you remember? And Bobby Lashley had the white contacts in his eyes.
They had a feud. I didn't even know they had a feud.
Yeah, they had a feud. Finn Balor was Intercontinental champion. Then he held on the belt for like a month or 2-3 months. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 months. Bobby Lashley beats him for the Intercontinental title, holds on to the Intercontinental title for like a month or a little bit over a month. And then it came to Mania. He fought against Finn, and Finn took the belt off of him, and Finn held the belt for like maybe 3 months and then lost the belt. Like it was like he held the belt for like short period of times. Like it wasn't even a long time. They both held the belt. The feud didn't even make any sense. It was just
So
like
I'm like, I don't remember that. So I was like,
yeah,
wait, the Finn and Lashley, that don't even make sense. That don't even look good on paper.
yeah. I mean, in my opinion, like I feel like you could put Finn against up against anybody. But for what they did for that feud, it was like not that great at all. That was like whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. I gotta go back and watch it. Cause that's what I've been doing. Mania season. I just watch nothing but Manias. I go back and watch nothing but Manias.
You know what? I didn't.
I think I watched 22 last. 22 was alright. I think I gotta finish watching that. 22, yeah. I'm about to finish watching. 22 is alright so far. Like I started to remember the matches they was having back then. I was watching that. I'm like, yo, 22 is an alright card. Like I used to shit on the couple of the Manias that was in the 20s, and then when I go back and watch them, I'm like, no, alright. I'll be forgetting about the Money in the Bank matches.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they stopped. I hope they bring that back. I thought they was bringing that back this year.
Oh, 22. That's where. But why on the cover of the WrestleMania 22 you see John Cena fighting Booker T, and he does not fight Booker T in the main event? Like
Booker
that is
T fights the Boogeyman on that show.
Poor promotion. That's the one where Rey Mysterio beat Kurt Angle and Randy Orton in that triple threat match.
Nah, that was 20, wasn't it? No, 21.
Nah, that's 22.
You sure?
I'm dead. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the whole card.
Because Bradshaw beat Benoit that night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. For the United States title.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam beat Bobby Lashley, Finlay, Matt Hardy, Ric Flair, and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, Viscera
beat Snitsky. Big Show and Kane defeat Carlito and Chris Masters. Edge and Lita defeated Mick Foley. Oh, God. The Boogeyman defeated Booker T and Queen Sharmell. Mickey James defeated Trish Stratus. This was a terrible card. The Undertaker is terrible, yo. The Undertaker versus defeated Mark Henry. I'll look at that. That's worth watching.
That was a casket match, right?
Casket match, yep. Shawn Michaels defeated Vince McMahon. Rey Mysterio defeated Randy Orton and Kurt Angle. That was a good match. Tori Wilson defeated Candice Michelle.
Oh, and never mind. I take that back.
Oh, yeah. This is when John Cena fought Triple H.
This is the night Cena started getting booed, right?
No, he was getting booed before that, but this is where the fans was like really, really like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
they were booing him out of Mania. They booed him out of Mania.
That's why I wanted to watch it. Because I remember I don't remember them booing him.
Yeah.
I remember him getting booed the Mania against Shawn Michaels.
Now, what Triple H, did you see it?
I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm gonna fast forward it because that card is trash. I don't want to see none of those matches you just named.
Watch. Triple H, no. Cena's gonna come down. They're gonna boom. They're gonna boom a little bit. You're gonna hear the boos. Then Triple H comes out. Then when they step in the ring, they just chill for they step in the ring before they even lock up. They start booing Cena. F you, Cena. They start saying F you, Cena. They start booing him, and then Triple H looks. And he's like, and he starts. Triple H gives this little smirk, like he's like, yo. He's like, and then Triple H says something like, he's like, I think he says they're not talking to me, and he and it's like Triple H starts making comments to him. And then they lock up and they have their match. He wins, and then people still boo him. They booed it. They booed Triple H out the building. Yeah, I mean John Cena out the building that night, yo.
I'm gonna set it up right now. I'm gonna fast forward that shit. I do it.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Watching you see the match, you're gonna see it. They booed him, and this is the Mania after he won the world title for the first time.
Yeah, after he beat Bradshaw.
Yeah.
They kind of booed him then that night too. He didn't really get a pop that night.
Really?
I watched that. And I was looking at the crowd reaction.
Mm-hmm.
My TV was loud, and it wasn't what I expected.
Mm. But when he showed up on a Raw, I think it was like 2 weeks later, like everybody went crazy. No, it was like the next night. He got drafted to Raw. Before they started the draft, they just put him straight on Raw. And then it was like, oh, John Cena is going to be the first superstar to get drafted to Raw.
I might want to watch that triple threat match again, though. That triple threat match was fire.
Which one?
With Kurt and Ray and Randy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Actually, there was like that's the match that made Vince. One of the matches that made Vince or convinced Vince that Randy Orton will be used as a heavyweight champion or used as a heavyweight contender. Because actually they were trying to push for Randy to win the match.
Yeah, I always wonder why they never had Shinsuke beat AJ Styles at that Mania. They never talk about that.
They never talk about it. It's like they just act like it never happened.
Like that's the question I always want to hear. Like one of these interviewers asks, like when they be having Triple H on their show, why y'all never ask him about Shinsuke? Because Shinsuke Nakamura is a Triple H. That's Triple H's dude. That's his. He brought him in.
Yeah. You know, it's so crazy because like when I look at WrestleMania, it makes sense why like WrestleMania 21, 22, and 23, John Cena fought for world championships.
He main evented from 21. No, he didn't main event 21.
He didn't main event 21, but he main evented 22.
Yeah.
And he main evented 22 and 23 against Shawn and Triple H. And I guess they was like, well, we put him against Shawn, we put him against Triple H. The fans are going to cheer for Triple H and cheer for Shawn, even though they
he only had 2 back-to-backs. He didn't main event 3. He didn't main event 3 Manias.
Nah. So when
he did 22, 23, and then against the Miz at 27, and then both years against The Rock, 28 and 29.
I think so. So 24, the main event was Undertaker versus Edge.
Okay, that was a good match. 24 was all right.
And 24, John Cena beat Triple H and Randy. I'm sorry, Randy beat Triple H and John Cena. Let's see.
Wow.
And that's where Shawn fought Flair.
Oh, okay, all right. That was the right card then.
25. Let's see. Was Triple H versus Randy.
Again?
Yeah. No, for the first time.
But the year before that was Triple Threat, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was
Randy, Cena, and Triple H.
Right. So they were trying to find a way to slowly push Cena out the picture. Instead of having Triple H instead of having John Cena versus Randy, you know what I'm saying? Let's just add Triple H in the mix, you know, so we make it seem like, yo, you know, we'll still put John Cena in the main event. And then, you know, the year after
was Cena even on that card?
Push him out. On 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the card. He fought for the World Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match against Big Show, Edge. Yeah, Big Show and Edge.
Oh, that's when he picked Big Show and Edge up in that FU and dropped the both of them.
Yeah,
he won that.
Yeah, he won that. They pushed him down. So instead of him so it was like the year before that, he was in a triple threat match in the main event, and then the year after that, he was in a triple threat match, but instead of being in the main event, he was in a match.
He won the world title though.
Yeah, he won the world title.
I think that was the first time he won big gold.
Was it?
Yeah, the WCW one. I think that's the first time he won that.
And who had an Edge?
Yeah.
And then the match after, and then the WrestleMania after that, that's where he fought The Rock in the main event.
Lost.
Yeah, he lost. And then WrestleMania after that,
He won.
he fought The Rock again. And yeah, he fought. No. The WrestleMania after that, I'm bugging.
That was his last. That was his last Mania as champion, right?
Which one?
When he beat The Rock.
I think so. All right,
Because
so
when he beat AJ Styles for 16, he lost it at the Elimination Chamber the next month. He didn't go to Mania as a champion. He lost to Bray Wyatt, remember?
Yeah, he did. He didn't go as champion.
That was basically like, yo, that was like his send off. Like, all right, we're gonna give you that 16 for a week, for 3 weeks. Then you're gonna lose to Bray. That didn't make no sense.
Because he had nothing for him.
Well, they should have kept AJ the champion then. That was the point.
Yeah, so when he fought against The Rock in the main event, that was his last main event at WrestleMania, I believe, because he fought against The Rock for the world title. He won, and then after that, you had WrestleMania 30. Yep, and then WrestleMania 30, that was WrestleMania. That's when that was it for Cena.
Yeah.
Cena's reign on the top as being a man was done. As far as like he played a backdrop, even though he was the big guy, he still played a backdrop in like the main show at that point. Because Daniel Bryan.
Then he started fighting. Had a feud with Miro.
Yeah.
With Rusev, my fault. He had a feud with Rusev.
Yeah, after 30, then then 31 was Roman and Brock.
And then he had the Authority feud. He was like the backseat to that too.
Yeah. So how many years?
Dolph was really the headline of that Authority feud.
He was. So how many? So we had 1, 2.
I think he main evented 5.
3. 1 second. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was like so about 9 years of John Cena being, even though he didn't main event all these WrestleManias, he had about 5.
And he won all of them.
He didn't win area main event.
He lost that triple threat. That was it.
He lost the triple threat.
And he lost to The Rock.
He lost the triple threat and he lost the match against The Miz.
Oh yeah, he lost. All right, so that's 3 losses out of 9.
No. I'm bugging. It is 3. He lost against The Rock, he lost against The Miz, and he lost against.
Oh yeah, Taker counts, right?
Triple H. Taker. He lost against Taker, but Taker wasn't a main event match though. The matches I'm naming are main event matches he fought in and lost.
Oh, so he lost against The Miz and The Rock.
Yeah, The Miz, The Rock, and Triple H. I mean, 1-on-1, he lost against The Miz and The Rock. But overall, as far as events, he lost 3 in the main event. Yeah, that was it. 9 years of hell. 9 years of hell. This fucking guy main event and stinking up the show, man.
He had some good matches though.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Oh. Name one.
The one on 22, Michaels.
The one he had with Triple H, I thought was pretty good. The one we get beat by Undertaker, that was pretty good. I thought that was great. The one he had with The Rock was the ones he had with The Rock was good. I liked them.
The ones with The Rock I like.
Yeah, I like both of them. Even though The Rock lost the second one, I liked it. I still thought it was
I was mad that The Rock lost the second one.
Yeah. No, he did have some good matches. But
the one against Shawn Michaels was fire.
A lot of people praised that match. They was like, out of all his WrestleMania matches, that was the best one. And I'm like,
Him and Shawn?
Yeah, because a lot of fans wanted Shawn to win.
Yeah, I wanted Shawn to win. I thought Shawn was going to win. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, yeah, it's down for Shawn to win.
Nah,
he was having a great year. Shawn was beating everybody that year.
I knew that Shawn was never going to win the world title after when he beat Triple H the first time when he came back and he won that heavyweight world title. I knew when he held that belt for a short period of time that he was not going to be champion again. I was hoping for him to be champion, and then I read an article sometime like around that period that Shawn said he doesn't want to be world champion again.
He doesn't like being champion.
Something in the lines of he felt like it would have been it'll be a better story for his career to be the guy who is a main eventer who makes it to the main event but doesn't win like how he used to. So he wanted to be that he still wanted to perform at that top level just to compete with the top to still prove that he had the in-ring ability, but he never wanted to be the person that held on to the belt to commit to, world champion.
It worked for him.
It did. It actually did work for him. I still felt like he still should have held the belt though, at least once.
Yeah, me too. So I thought Shawn should at least been like a 7-8 time champ. That's how I felt, to be honest.
Me too, but the funny thing about it is like when you look at his career, like it's crazy because like when you look at certain people's career, you be like, some of it is in the details. Like Shawn wasn't going to hold the belt multiple times. He wasn't, because he wasn't injury prone, but he was always getting hurt. He couldn't work like that, and it was a demand on his body that he couldn't really fulfill all the time.
Yeah, that was the only thing that worked against him was that his body, his back, his knee, or he would be at the bar.
Shawn gonna be at that bar.
Yeah. No.
Oh, he gonna be there.
The one night he goes out without the click,
Right.
He runs into a real click. They whoop that ass.
Niggas did.
I wonder if they hit him with the belt.
I don't think they did. They watched that nigga up good. That was crazy. WrestleMania, whatchamacallit was pretty good. 32. What? 30. I mean, well, let me not say it was pretty good, but
that's when they booed Roman out. They booed Roman out the building.
They booed him.
They really thought Triple H was going to win. Though they knew, knowing Roman, it was set for Roman to win, but they wanted Hunter to win so bad, bro.
They did, but they booed. They booed both of them. They did not care. They was like, "Yo, this."
Yeah, they did not care for that match, yo. Yeah, towards the end, that's when they started cheering for Hunter. Like when they seen the sequences, they were like, "Come on, Hunter."
Yeah, because even when he won the belt at the Royal Rumble, they were cheering for him. I was like, yo.
Yeah, when he won at the Rumble, he got a crazy pop.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, yo, this ain't looking good for
I was not expecting that when he won at the Rumble. I was not expecting them to cheer Hunter. I thought they was going to cheer for Miro. Was it Miro that ever won in the finals?
It was.
I think it was Miro. Miro lasted like
Miro was he was the third. I think he was third. It was Miro, Moxley, and Triple H. They eliminated Roman as the fourth. No, Triple H eliminated Roman,
And that's crazy. Miro was back to back because the year before that, Roman eliminated Miro to win the Rumble.
Yeah, Triple H was giving him the DX chop. Like fans was going crazy. They was like, "Oh, that was crazy."
Yeah, that was crazy. I was kind of hyped when Triple H won. Though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yeah, Hunter.
Yeah, I was happy too. I was like, okay. I was like, he won. I was like, this is dope. But I knew he was gonna win. But fans.
When I heard his music, when I heard his music, I said, oh yeah, he's not losing. He's not losing this.
He's not.
No way he's losing.
He's not losing. He's not losing. I knew it. I was like, yeah, he's not losing.
The fans knew it too. They was cheering the whole time.
It was crazy because like the night was it not the night before, not the night after. No, the night was it? I think it was like 2 weeks later or a week later. No. When was it? I forgot what night. I think either before the Royal Rumble or I forgot which one it was, but it was when Triple H came back and he beat Roman up and he broke his nose and everybody was cheering.
You said when who?
When Triple H came back, like when Triple H came back and got his revenge on Roman and broke his nose and had him bleeding.
Oh, that night when he came out the suit and was fucking Roman up at the ringside.
Nah, not that one. When he came out with the t-shirt on, like the game,
and he was slamming him on the table and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hit him with the sledgehammer. Then he broke his nose and he had him in the headlock and he's just doing what the game does. He destroy you. Yeah, that was like, and the fans are cheering for that. They were just like going crazy. That was crazy.
I didn't understand. The only thing I didn't understand during the pandemic was when Triple H came out that one time to fight Randy. Remember that?
Oh yeah, like yeah. I thought he was coming back, but I wanted the match. But I thought they were going to continue the feud, but they didn't. It was just like he just came out of retirement.
Did they even fight? They didn't even fight that night, right?
Did they? I think they fought for a little bit and then it got stopped because of Bray or something.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. What's going on?
Somebody got involved. Hold on a second.
I'm like, they doing whatever they want for this pandemic.
He finished.
I heard his music and I see him come out. I'm like, wait, what's going on now? I'm like, yo, what is going on? Oh, Ray botched in this match. I didn't even notice that until now.
Which match?
The triple threat. He had a botch. He was supposed to hit Kurt Angle with the 619 from the post, but he slipped and fell. I never realized that until now. I watched this match plenty of times, too. That's crazy. That was a crazy botch, too. He could have fucked himself up. Yeah, this match don't get enough respect like it should be. Yeah, they don't give this match enough credit. They really don't. I was kind of mad when Ray won the title. I didn't understand why they put the belt on him. At that time, I didn't understand why they putting the belt on Ray.
They did it. Yeah, they did it for Eddie because they were supposed to put it on. They were actually trying to put it on Randy.
Yeah, this is supposed to be Randy's night right here.
It was supposed to be. Yeah. I thought he was going to win it. He was hot. He was hot at that time.
I'm like, then they put the belt on Ray a lot of times where I didn't agree.
Are we talking about like the Intercontinental?
Nah, World Heavyweight title.
He only won one.
Ray got 4 reigns, bro.
Nah, he got 1 reign.
Nah, look it up.
I promise you.
Rey Mysterio is a 4-time champion, bro.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
How much you want to bet?
I'm telling you, sir, he's 4-time champion.
He already won it once, yo.
Look it up. I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, what?
Okay. He's a 3-time WWE champion.
And 1-time world heavyweight champion.
He's a 1-time WWE champion. That's when he won in that whole
yeah, on Raw.
Yeah, it was like
and him and Cena had that fire ass match.
Yeah. And he won earlier that night, and then him and Cena fought for the belt later that night, and Cena beat him for the belt. And then the first time he won the World Heavyweight Championship was at WrestleMania. The second time, when was the second time?
He beat Kane, right?
Yeah, so he's a 2-time world champion. The big gold.
Yeah, he beat Kane, I think.
It was a fatal 4-way match. There's a fatal 4-way match involving Big Show, CM Punk. The championship was referred to as the World Championship due to Mysterio not being a heavyweight. And then Kane beat him in July. He won the belt in June, and Kane beat him in July. So he only held on to the belt for like 28 days. It wasn't even a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And look at Dom. Dom was mad little.
Yeah, it wasn't even that long. Man,
I told you 4 times, yo.
Huh?
I told you 4 reigns, yo.
That's 3.
No, they said 3. All right. Still.
That's 3. He had 2 world heavyweights and one WWE heavyweight championship reign. But yeah, I mean it's close to 4, but
3 is too much. 3 too many.
Way too many. As a matter of fact, 2 of those belts, like 2 of those reigns.
I think all his reigns was like triple threat matches too, right?
Nah, the first one he won was a triple threat. That's when he won against and then his second win was in that fatal 4-way match.
See?
And he only had it for 28 days, not even a month. And then his third came when he won the WWE Championship and had it for like a few hours. No, had it for like an hour. And then he lost what you call. He lost it to John Cena.
That's the only time I wanted him to keep it.
Who, Rey Mysterio?
Yeah.
When he won it, I was like, really? I was like, out of all people, Rey Mysterio. I was like, why? But I was never really a big Rey Mysterio fan. I mean, I respected his talent, but I never really kind of seen him as like this, world heavyweight champion.
I liked him better in WCW.
Yeah, he was definitely a lot better in WCW.
All his matches were fire on Nitro.
Yeah, his matches were better. I think so. But that's when he was fighting against cruiserweights, though, so it looked better.
Yeah.
All right. We almost at the 2-hour mark. We got to wrap it up. But, Ant, we got to go through your list of favorite wrestlers again. I can't believe you. I really thought you was a Bret Hart fan. That threw me off. I promise you that threw me way off, yo. Yo, that threw me off. You was like, Bret Hart was whack. I was so surprised, man. Like, what? Bret? Man.
Yeah, Bret Hart is,
who else you don't like as a wrestler?
I don't like Bret. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
I'm so shocked, man.
Like out of all the main eventers, I don't like Bret. Everybody else I could cool with. Like, I could watch a Batista match depending on who it's against. Like Batista versus Edge, Batista versus Taker, yeah, I could watch that. Secret versus JBL, I could watch that.
Mm.
Batista and Shawn, I could watch that.
Yeah.
But Brett, I can't do it, bro. Can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Brett
Wow.
versus Stone Cold, yeah, I could do it. Brett versus Diesel, Brett versus Shawn, yeah. But I don't consider Brett as a top 10. He's trash. He's boring. Like promos is corny. Like, as I got older, like as a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
When I got older, look, I'm like, yo, this dude was corny.
Wow.
As a kid, I didn't like him, but like as I got older, like I am now,
Yeah.
and I look at him, I really don't like him. Like,
Oh wow.
like he's trash. Like even when he was on fire with the Canadian thing, as a
Yeah.
kid, I liked that. I'm like, oh, I hated him. Like, oh yeah, oh Stone Cold, you need to kill this dude. Like, but now that I got older, I'm like, I never really. Brett is trash, bro. That's it. That's all I gotta say. A lot of people be surprised when I say that. I was saying that to other people on Twitter today. Like they were surprised. But Brett is trash, bro.
Yeah, because everybody liked Brett. Everybody was like a Brett fan. Like even if they weren't like a big fan, because it was either Shawn or Brett at that time.
It was
So
Shawn for me, man.
so
It was
it was
Shawn
either
and Brett.
it was one or the other. I was never a Shawn. I wasn't a Shawn fan. I wasn't a Shawn Michaels fan.
I was
I
a
liked.
rocker. I wasn't a Hart Foundation. I was a rocker.
I was a Rocker fan. I was a Rocker fan before I was a Hart Foundation fan. But then when Shawn went solo, I was always cheering for the good guys. So then I was a Brett fan, and then what's crazy was I got back into wrestling around the time where Brett dropped that documentary Wrestling in the Shadows. So at that time I was watching WCW, and when he dropped that documentary, and I was like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, is this real? I thought it was fake. I thought the whole thing was staged, and I thought they were doing it for A&E to kind of like just like, it was so crazy because at the same time it was happening, at the same time, like Brett was going through negotiations with WWE and WCW. They were showing the same show. Like they were showing the show at the same exact time. Like literally, as a matter of fact, literally the day, like the week before he debuted, like the week after he left Survivor Series, and like the week he debuted in WCW, they showed that documentary like on A&E, like right then and there, because they were supposed to be like documenting his life at the time. Because they
That's when
always
I found out wrestling was fake. That documentary.
yeah, that was crazy. Because I like, and that's what made me get into it. Because when he went over to WCW, it was like, yo, like, as a matter of fact,
this shit is fake.
wait, let me think. Hold on a second.
And then they came out with that other documentary right after that with Mick Foley.
Wait, no, I'm bugging.
Beyond the Ring. Remember that documentary?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this shit is really fake, yo. I'm like, wait, these niggas is friends?
Oh man, I remember like just remembering the chair shots were not real.
Yeah,
like, just everything.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I remember, man, finding out wrestler was fake. I had a lot of friends like I spoke to, like one of my homeboys I talked to. He used to be a fan of it when he was young, and he was like, when he found out it was fake, he was like, I really thought it was real at the time when I was a kid. And he was like, when he was a kid, and he was just like, finding out how fake it was, he was just like, nah. He's like, I can't do it no more. But I tell him I still watch it. Because I enjoy it because of the character development, and it's just entertainment, Even though it's like choreographed violence, is we watch it for entertainment. It's still entertaining. I still like it. I enjoy it. It's just fun. It's just entertainment. That's what it's made to do, entertain you. But he's like he can't do it anymore. He can't watch none of it. So I do remember. I remember believing it was real. I definitely remember it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, but time to wrap it up because we almost at the 2 hour mark. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be back with you guys on Wednesday night. We're walking into WrestleMania. Well, we already in WrestleMania season, but we are walking into a week before WrestleMania, where we see all these major storylines come to a head and take us into a new chapter in WWE and cross us over into something new. I really honestly believe that this WrestleMania is going to be a major reset to what Triple H has in store for wrestling going forward. I think this is going to be like the major reset. He's going to do everything over again. Not everything over again, but just kind of shape things a little bit more into the image he wants to create it. I definitely think so. 100%.
Attitude Era 2.0, man.
Word. That's what we need. But ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Join us as we go live every Wednesday at 9 o'clock and every Friday after SmackDown, a little bit after 10. So that way you guys can finish watching what you're watching as far as AEW, WWE, and catch us live to talk wrestling. If you guys are watching on YouTube, hit the subscription button, drop a comment in the comment section below, and join us as we go live. I'm signing off as your host, Saheem the Dream.
You already know, man.
The big bad booty. Yay! We catch you guys later.
Peace, man.
Peace.